Halo, hai. Kedengeran nggak suara saya? Jelas ya? Oke, bentar ya. Yeah. So sorry, I have to drop a message first to the academic because I'm actually here on site. I mean, in the classroom at Anggrek, but somehow the camera and then the audio they're not connected to the main PC. Therefore, I'm using two accounts today. But anyway, I'm not going to be. I mean, I'm not going to drop a lot of things to discuss, but we're going to try to just try to chit chat a little bit about the midterm tests and then how's the result, and also maybe I'll try to give you like several tips and tricks related to LinkedIn. Thanks for those who have opened your camera, and it's good to see you again. I can see Jeremy and then I can see Adit. I have new camera here. I'm buying, well, I bought a new webcam because the old one, it didn't connect at all with my computer. I don't know why. But I can see the voice. I mean, my voice is connected to the camera and also to the headset. So, how are you after midterm test? Ini ada yang kameranya setengah setengah begini ke atas. Diturunin dikit coba. All right. Thank you. Thank you for opening camera. So I can see cats and then I can see dogs. I can see a dog behind you. I can see flowers. I miss your virtual background and also you. Boleh dicoba virtual backgroundnya. Or if you want to put on makeup, virtual makeup, you can do that too. You can play around with the virtual background. Okay, so we haven't met each other like for about 2 weeks. Online, of course. And then we connect to each other. Some of you texted me through line, and then I gave you a bit of information regarding midterm tests. But from the list, and then from the previous experience, I guess most of you learned a lot regarding potential hiccups in Binus Maya. Jadi kayaknya dari pengalaman yang udah gitu ya, ini udah tahun kedua kita mengadakan tes secara online. Kayaknya udah pada belajar nih soal technical issues yang mungkin terjadi. Jadi kayaknya kemarin saya nggak terlalu dengar banyak technical issues, but perhaps it's just a little bit of misunderstanding regarding the instruction for this Imagining Me midterm test. Anyway, sebelum ke mid test, saya mau tanya untuk semester ini kita di tengah, ini kan untuk Imagining Me ya, untuk di tengah semester terakhir itu banyak GSLC. Nah, untuk kelas-kelas lain, ya, untuk kelas-kelas lain, have you checked your schedule? Kapan video conference, kapan GSLC, kapan forum, kapan tanggal final test? Ada yang udah ngeliat sampai ujung belum? Kayaknya yang nganggung cuma 1 orang, 2 orang. Belum, ya, oke. So, just to anticipate, jangan sampai nanti tiba-tiba di ujung, kok kelasnya udah habis ya? Tolong dilihat, setelah mid test nih, setelah kita nggak ketemu 2 minggu, so after the midterm test, please check how many video conference do you have. Okay? Because usually, the second half semester is getting even more and more busier. It's even packed because some of the classes dropped. Like some of the classes, we have more GSLC on the second half semester, so we don't have time to discuss different things together. Like even some of the lectures, we lost the timeline, and all of a sudden we just realized, oh, this is the last meeting, and we haven't finished a lot of topics, right? For imagining me for this class, what you have to know, we got a partner from outside of BNews, and then you can check the forum, right? So right now, if you go to your BNews Maya, I don't know whether you realize it or not, but we have one posting from our partner, and then I hope you can respond it on this second half semester. I'll try to open the forum. First, let's talk about that forum. Okay. So, surprise, surprise, we have only one more video conference, which is on May 25th. And next week, it's going to be GSLC. You can be sad, you can smile, it's up to you. But it means, well, for me, it means we have only limited time to have online synchronous interaction like this. Oh, by the way, just a minute. I want to let the administration know that we cannot access the camera. Right, katanya biarin dulu. Berarti ya udah pakai ini dulu ya, sebentar. Forum. Where's forum? Oh yeah, it's right here. And then let's try to take a look what kind of posting do we have. Right, so your class is LA, right? Benar nggak? Benar ya. Coba kita lihat, udah ada posting belum ya? Harusnya sih udah ada. Nah ini session 4 nih, kok belum ada reply ya? Atau, oh sorry, ini terpisah. Okay, just a minute. Right, so I have only 19 posting. I mean 19 reply for session 4 posting. But I guess for global learning system, let's try to check out. Nah, di saya belum muncul nih. Mungkin nanti dipantau-pantau aja ya. Harusnya ada posting sih dari partner. Okay. For sebentar ya, Mas. For this one, for the class, ya, yeah, ya. Saya pakai laptop sementara karena audionya belum connect ke PC. Jadi ini saya end dulu ya. Bentar ya, sambil diberesin PC-nya. Nah, untuk kelas ini masih ada, baru ada 19. Kayaknya saya percaya mahasiswanya lebih dari 19. Jadi kalau ada yang merasa belum reply, tolong di-reply. Because it's going to be part of the assignment. right now the camera on for the other accounts. Ya, audio, ya udah nyala kok. Oke, ya udah nyala. Uh, harusnya bisa connect juga ya. Oh, matikan. Gak usah deh, udah. It's okay. Ya udah pakai yang ada dulu aja. Maaf ya, banyak interupsi. Ada sedikit vision. Yeah, sorry. I'm breaking out the attention here and there. Anyway, bottom line, if you feel like you haven't replied this one for this forum, please reply. And then for today's topic, it's going to be about LinkedIn. But I believe you have your own LinkedIn. I mean, your LinkedIn has already been completed. Maybe what we can do to fix LinkedIn is just to complete several features and to turn on and off several features. LinkedIn itu gampang ngisinya, tapi mungkin ada beberapa hal yang bisa membuat nama kalian on the top search. Right. So this is where we are today. Build a dazzling LinkedIn profile. And for your information, actually LinkedIn has a short course for this one. So LinkedIn now has Learning LinkedIn, and some of the courses are free, some of the courses are paid. Before we go to this point, I mean, before we go to LinkedIn profile, how to build dazzling LinkedIn profile, I want to discuss a little bit about the midterm tests. So what happened on the last meeting, there was a questions regarding instruction on the midterm test. Now, while waiting for me, you can try to open the midterm test questions and also instruction, right? And then I'll let you know what is actually expected. What are the things expected from this midterm test? Okay. We have 3 classes for Imagining Me, and basically we have the same instruction for midterm tests. So when we discuss, when the 2 lecturers try to discuss what kind of things should be provided for a midterm test, then we come up with this idea. If it's only CV and cover letter, that's too easy for you, right? You can just build it in 5 minutes and then it's done, right? But what we need from you this time, it's some kind of simulation of applying, right? Of applying the CV and cover letter to a real vacancy. That's why we put down a reminder for you that first we come to this class because we want to express ideas well in English, both in written and verbal form. Okay, if it's about CV and cover letter, of course, it's about written expressions, right? And then we have the second learning objective. We are here in this class because we want to produce a digital portfolio in a professional manner. Well, it's some part of it, it's actually CV building, okay? Some parts of the skills of building and producing digital portfolio, it's actually building CV. And the last one is to produce a commercial or academic digital content as a form of self-expressions. Although we don't have an explicit commercial or explicit academic digital content, but creating cover letter, it takes several skills which are similar to producing academic digital content. So when you complete this midterm test, then you target the LO1, LO2, LO3. One question from this instruction, if you still remember, there was a question to me whether or not the CV and cover letter should be real, or can we just make up the informations there? And then I answered, you cannot make up the informations. It has to be real, right? It has to be from you. Because basically, right, basically the main elements in the scoring is to find out whether you have the skills to adjust information so you can promote yourself properly. Depends on the vacancy itself. Okay? So if you read the instruction, you are currently looking for a position as an intern. That's you. Even the instruction itself, it's real instruction for you, right? Therefore, you need to prepare your cover letter and curriculum vitae. Emang beneran kalian kan? Emang kalian lagi nyiapin itu. So that's why if you ask me, do I have to put down real information? Yes, you have to put down real information. Do I have to put down the same information for each of the vacancy? No. You have to adjust the information for each of the vacancy. Depends on what kind of vacancy do you want to apply, right? Let's just go down to the example, right? Let's just go down to the example of vacancy 1. Now let's try to take a look. This is real vacancy and you can apply this job for real, okay? Ini bukan lowongan bohong-bohongan yang saya bikin-bikin ya. Ini lowongan beneran yang memang kalian bisa apply. So vacancy 1, there is a position as intern in public informations in United Nations Jakarta. Ini kalau misalnya kalian mau apply, bener-bener, you can go to link and then just click apply. Now, what you have to pay attention first, you gotta find out the nature of UN information centers. Jadi kemarin pas tes, harusnya langkah pertama, kalian baca dulu nih lowongan ini. You gotta read the vacancy first. That should be the first step before you work on your CV and cover letter. Read the nature of UN information centers. What it's all about. Okay, that this institution is basically the principal sources of information for UN system. Okay, and they are also responsible for promoting greater public understandings and supports the aim and activities for UN. Well, anyway, the location of this internship is in Jakarta, and it's over for initial period for 3 months, but there is a possibility that you can be extended. So if we put down the time, it's between 3 months to 6 months. It depends on the needs of the department. Then, after knowing the nature of the institutions, find out the responsibility. Okay, so this is quite significant. I mean, this part, knowing the responsibility, it should be on top of your attention, right? Because it will help you to decide what kind of skills you want to put forward. Jadi, membaca responsibility ini harusnya menjadi prioritas juga, karena dengan begitu kalian tahu apa yang harus disajikan ketika menulis cover letter dan juga CV. Now, I turn on the annotation, right, in this form, and from this responsibilities, please, right, please underline, okay, the keywords of responsibility. Jadi saya sudah memampangkan ini semua responsibility-nya ya, tanggung jawabnya apa aja. Tolong kalian garis bawahi keywords untuk setiap responsibility itu dengan annotations. So please help me to underline the keyword for each responsibility. Okay? Are you there? I'm going to underline communications. Garisnya berantakan ya, saya punya. Iya, pintar, teamwork. Lanjutin. Assist with monitoring the media. Mungkin boleh digaris bawahi aja langsung. Monitoring the media. Iya, betul. Anything else? Research draft. Ya, boleh. Oke. Okay. Media outreach. Good. Organizing activities. All right. News stories, right? Okay. Now, within communication itself, can you find very specific keywords that we need to perform? Okay, communication, that's a big point, right? But is there something specific that we have to show? Good. Two-way communication, Taylor's language, right? Nice. Tone, style, and format. Maybe you can also underline that one too. Ini mah semuanya aja digaris. don't don't underline the whole thing, just the keywords. Right. Now what about teamwork? So within communications, nggak apa-apa maksud saya yang di garis bawah keywordsnya aja. Misalnya communications. Okay, clearly, effectively. So clear and effective communications. Good. Interpret, right? Interpret message. And then two-way communications, Taylor's language, tone, style, and format. And then within teamwork, mungkin kita bisa, maybe we can just put our attention to achieve organizational goals. Ada yang bisa bantu saya mungkin untuk highlight itu? Achieve organizational goals within teamwork. Thank you. What else? Ada lagi? Okay, supports and acts in accordance with final group decision. So in case you work together and then you have to solve a problem, whether or not you have to design a cover letter beautifully. For example, that's what you're thinking about as a group. One side, okay, you are pro to beautiful cover letter, right? But your friends, they are against to beautiful cover letter. They just want to have a functional cover letter. That's it. No color, black and white, and it's really, really, really rigid. Okay? Now, within your group, most of you 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 are against, right? You against the beautiful cover letter, and you are the only one who loves colorful cover letter. Since the functional cover letter becomes a dominant decision in the group, so you have to follow this decision, right? Although you don't like it. And this is where you have to support and act in accordance with final group decisions. That's the meaning of support and act in accordance with final group decisions. You cannot just quit the group and then design your own cover letter as if you're competing the majority. So that's not a good idea. So that is the quality that UN wants from you in teamwork. Okay? Thank you for helping me underlining the keywords. Now, from this quality, okay, from this quality, I'll try to jot down the typical narrations that you can put down in cover letter, sorry, in curriculum vitae. For example, HIMSI staff from, in case this is chronological CP, okay, from 2005 to 2020. Ini mah namanya kudeta ya. Jadi HIMSI staff berapa tahun tuh? Berarti nggak lulus-lulus dong. Okay, anyway, this is just example. And then, in case I want to highlight my communication sorry, my teamwork skills. What can I say here? In charge, ada yang punya usulan? Can you mention one of the events that is usually held by HIMSI? You can just open your microphone. I'm not going to bite you. Kegiatan apa sih yang biasanya diadain sama HIMSI? Ini kemana ini semuanya? Kok jadi pada pendiam semua?
Like seminar, ma'am.
What kind of seminar?
I think with national English competition, Miss.
Okay, in charge for English competitions, right? For English competition. And then how is it possible for me to show my teamwork skills? In charge for English competitions, as marketing and publication, PIC. That support for two-way communication with institutional, with organizational partners, and support for two-way communication with organizational partners, and collaborate with other division as well as or collaborate with other division in terms of creating final decision for each communication cycle. It sounds fancy, right? It might sound fancy, tapi sebenarnya intinya adalah bertugas sebagai marketing dan publikasi yang tugasnya berhubungan dengan calon peserta gitu ya. So you're in charge as PIC that supports two-way communication with organization partners. Organization partners here, the potential participants of English competition, and collaborate with other division in terms of creating final decision for each communication cycle. Jadi untuk setiap tugas itu biasanya ada cycle-nya istilahnya. Misalnya gini, for example, you want to finish a task of sending invitations. Sending invitation, it's not only this one task, that's it, but you have to start it from creating invitation draft, sending it to the PIC, getting approval from PIC, and then gaining all of the potential partners that you want to invite, and then after that you send the invitation to all of them. Ini kan satu rangkaian nih, cycle itu rangkaian. So when you want to decide this every single step of the cycle, jadi untuk memutuskan setiap langkah dalam rangkaian itu, kan butuh komunikasi nih dengan divisi lain, dengan PIC, dengan ketua misalnya. That's the point when you have to collaborate with others.
I'm sorry, Miss.
Yes?
Are we still supposed to see the midterm paper?
Yes.
Oh.
So can you see my annotations? Gak bisa ya?
No.
So basically I'm writing on the other computer. This saya drop aja di chat room ya.
Yes, miss.
Sorry. Sekarang baru kelihatan ya?
Yeah, miss.
Tapi kayaknya ketumpuk. Just a minute. Dan nggak bisa digeser lagi. Anyway, you can just cut and paste perhaps. You can just snip tool the answer. Okay, right. Ini, yeah. Okay, I got the note. Whoever dropped the message in the chat room. Right. Okay. So, bottom line, whatever things that you put down on your CV and cover letter, basically, you gotta follow that kind of step. Knowing the institution first, what do they do, right? And then knowing the nature of your vacancy. After that, then you can create a CV and cover letter. Depends on the nature of that vacancy. And it has to be based on your real data. Makanya kemarin saya sempat minta kalian untuk nunjukin CV-nya supaya bisa dibahas bareng-bareng. Dan with this one data, we can adjust and readjust depends on the vacancy. Contoh ya, dari sini, dari titik ini, dari lowongan ini, from this vacancy, now we want to create another vacancy, okay, for the next position. Nih, e-commerce operation interns. TikTok. Everybody knows this company, right? But perhaps what we know is not as much as what is written down right here on this page. So now if we read the information about this vacancy, about the company itself, TikTok is e-commerce industry, has been tremendously growth. Okay, we know that. And then in this role, whoops, just a minute. Okay, in this role, you will work with the e-commerce operations team. Kalau tadi bidangnya komunikasi, sekarang bidangnya e-commerce operation. Now, what about on this job descriptions? Coba sekarang fokusnya ke bagian ini ya. Can you help me to underline, right? Can you help me to underline what kind of keywords that you have to pay attention to when you create the CV and cover letter? Feel free to find your color and then underline the keywords. Translation of local Indonesian language to English and vice versa. Good. Assist and communicate with Indonesian merchants. Nice. To help with merchants operations and maintenance. Anything else? Ada lagi yang perlu digarisbawahi? Maybe we can focus on job description first, and then we'll go to qualifications. Information sorting. Yang berikutnya juga boleh tuh digaris bawah, project follow up. Yeah, okay, thank you. Right. So let me add more right here. It's actually merchants operations and maintenance. Now, let me give you a tips, right? As an applicant, I'll give you tips as an applicant. So if you want to apply for a job, your gray area, okay, your gray area, it's basically right here. In this case, if it's written down other daily operations, so you got to be ready if you're assigned with different types of job. I know we are aware, I mean, sometimes we're too aware with our position and the nature of the job. And we tend to avoid extra job assigned by the company. Okay? On certain contexts, you can do that. But when you find out, starting from the opening vacancy, it's written down something, it's written down that one of your job description is in gray area like this. Ini kan area yang bisa semua hal dimasukin ke dalam daily operation gitu kan ya. So that's why we call it as a gray area. Then you gotta prepare yourself for that. It doesn't mean, right? It doesn't mean that this is bad. This is totally good because you will learn a lot of experience from this one single gray area. Okay? But what I'm trying to say, if you have a gray area like this, on your application, you can also drop extra skills. Aside from communication, merchants operation, right? Translation, and then your experience in working on new projects. You can totally add more experience. Like for example, if you have a teaching experience and you know this is a company instead of school, then you can replace the word of teaching into training. Okay? That can work for you when you build your CV and cover letter. Now, after knowing your job descriptions that you assist and communicate with Indonesian merchants, and then help with the merchants operation and maintenance, you have to also support translation from local Indonesian language to English and vice versa. Last one, you gotta assist the operation, right, of information sorting, project follow-up, and other daily operations. Now we can try to check the qualifications. My question, right, my question for you, after looking at the qualifications, do you think you are visible for this position? You can just answer my questions by, you can just open your microphone or drop me a chat. Okay? Do you think you're qualified for this position? If you're too shy or you're chewing your lunch still, you can just drop me a message in the chat room. Kalau masih ada yang ngunyah makanan, boleh drop di chat room.
I think not.
I think not for you. Is that so? So you think you're not qualified yet for this position?
I think because we not graduated yet.
Okay. Any other input? Feel free to add more. I don't think I'm qualified. Okay, thank you, Dit. Ada lagi? Atau ada yang punya pendapat lain? Oke. Kayaknya ada satu pendapat lagi ya. Yeah, okay. Well, if we stick to the first point, undergraduate or graduate students who can work for 4 days or more per week and work for more than 3 months, you are actually qualified for this position. Okay. In some application status, when you're still doing a bachelor program, you can claim yourself as an undergraduate student. Okay? You are undergraduate students. In other definition, right? Another definitions, graduate students, it means you are still going to school, but you are on master's level or above. So basically, right, you are totally qualified for this position in terms of in related to your educational background. Jadi kalau soal background pendidikan, kamu bisa masuk. Kalian qualified. Okay? Now, your next thing to reflect are only second and third. Whether or not you prefer to have some experience in event planning, project coordination, and project promotion, or whether or not you're fluent in English and able to perform basic English, business communication, and translation. Tinggal dua itu tuh PR-nya. Yang saya yakin pasti kalian bisa. So, bottom line, right? Bottom line, after the session, if you want to apply to these two positions, you are totally qualified. Kalau nggak qualified, saya nggak akan pilihin yang ini, dua ini. Dan ini beneran ada. Okay? You just need to adjust one more time. You just need to adjust your CV and cover letter depends on the nature of the institution and also positions. Now, if you have to classify, I'll erase the annotation first. If I ask you to classify between the first, right, the first vacancy, kalau harus diklasifikasi, lowongan pertama, the first vacancy, intern public information United Nations, and then the second vacancy, which is e-commerce operation interns, yang mana yang kira-kira kalian bisa memikirkan segi estetik dari CV dan cover letter? Yang mana yang aplikasinya, dengan kata lain ya, yang mana yang aplikasinya bisa arahnya lebih ke arah informal dikit lah gitu. So, based on those two vacancies, which one that you think can be modified into a bit of informal application? You can just drop your answer in the chat room. Is it the UN vacancy or TikTok vacancy? Please drop your answer in the chat room. Saya tunggu ya. Ini nggak ada yang ketiduran kan? Thank you, Jeremy. Bagus, mana bagus?
Hello, Miss.
Jawabannya di drop ya, bagus ya. Which one is the informal? Which one can be done informally? UN, okay. Ada yang bilang UN, ada yang bilang TikTok, ada yang bilang e-commerce. Or you can also, well, if you think none of the above can be informal, you can also say so. Or if you say both of them can be informal, you can also say so. There are a lot of options. Any idea? Ini masyarakatnya ada 2 juta loh di sini, yang jawab cuma 3. 1 million people here, but there are only 3 answers. Putri Salsabila.
Iya, Miss.
Iya. Informal. 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 Saya mau iseng panggilin satu-satu Sayat, ada Sayat?
Ya, Miss.
Livia, ada Livia?
Ya, Miss.
Inggit. Yang jarang saya tolol-tolol, Inggit.
Oh, Miss.
Oke. Kayaknya pada pinter nih. Ya, saya udah dapat beberapa jawaban. I get some of the answers. So, if you want to be safe, right? If you want to be safe in whatever kind of business communications, in whatever kind of business interactions, whether it's verbal or written, you gotta set the highest standard first. So, as I mentioned, cover letter and CV, that will be your first contact with an institution or with a company or with whatever organization you will apply later. So to set up a high standard on your first interaction with them, formal interaction should be settled down first. Later on, if you find out, oh, the culture is quite relaxed, you can go to office using Teams or you can say gue lo in the office. Maybe you can just go with the flow, right? It would be better if you set up a um, formal application format, not too many drawings, not too many pictures, and try to put down a formal photograph as part of your applications. And then later on during the interview, that will be your first face-to-face meeting with them. And you can start with the formal interaction first. Later on, if you find out, oh, they're quite fun, they're quite laid back, and you can readjust that. So comparison between UN, okay, between UN and TikTok in terms of organizational structure, perhaps UN has a very strict line of informations. What I'm trying to say, they have a sequence of communications usually. Jadi biasanya pasti nanti komunikasinya akan terstruktur. Jadi setelah kamu apply, kamu nunggu berapa lama, itu periodenya jelas. Nah mungkin sekarang ada yang ngerasain nih, ada yang udah apply tiba-tiba baru apply hari ini, besok dipanggil. Atau apply hari ini, 2 minggu kemudian baru dipanggil. In that case, maybe they don't have the structure of communication yet. TikTok ini tergolong baru di sini ya. So perhaps in this case, you got to be prepared for flexible communication structure and flexible jobs as well. That's why maybe it will be quite necessary for you to show that you're open for whatever kind of tasks or opportunity. Terakhir, ini favorite brandnya yang suka belanja grocery mungkin ya, if you know Happy Fresh. Since this is quote unquote family company, so maybe it will be good if you could adjust the theme, right, of your cover letter and CV. Happy Fresh, ini sebenarnya e-commerce juga. This is actually online grocery application. And what you will be doing if you become intern here in this company, you gotta support an operations. Biasanya urusannya sama stocking, bukan stocking kaos kaki ya, stocking barang, compiling, verifying, sorting data based on the real-time priorities. So you gotta put data of the products, review content for linguistic errors. This is part of your job. Collaborate with the product photographer to prepare, compose, style a wide product assortment. Ini sebenarnya dengan kata lain di perusahaan lain, itu tugasnya SEO, Search Engine Optimization, dan beririsan juga dengan content writer. Tapi nama dari pekerjaan dia di sini adalah content intern. More or less, they are the same. Now, what about from this who we are looking for? Now, my questions to you, right? What are the qualifications that fits your condition right now? Kualifikasi yang mana yang cocok dengan background-nya kalian, dengan kondisi kalian sekarang? Can you please give me a circle or underline below who we are looking for, and try to underline and circle the characteristic that fits you well. Kalau saya udah pasti langsung ngebajak nomor 1. Jadi yang lain nggak ada yang bisa ambil. Silakan yang lain. You can try to underline or circle. Fluency in English. Yakin ya, TOEFL-nya 600, sorry. Iya, TOEFL-nya 600 sih berarti ya. Nah, yang ini berarti pertanggungjawabannya nilai sintaksnya harus 100 nih. Correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Okay, word processing tool spreadsheet program, good. Gak ada yang lingkarin knowledge of grocery products. Saya pengen tahu nih siapa nih yang sering bantuin mama papanya nih belanja. Commercial photography. Okay. High attention to detail. High attention to detail, if it's related to product, then you know this product has how many pieces in the stock. Atau produk ini dengan spesifikasi seperti ini ada berapa di stoknya kita, di stok yang sebelah mana, area mana. That's more or less the attention needed from you. Superb eye for style, visual composition. So I guess those are the reason why you have to learn desktop publishing, because of these two might be part of your job in the future, not only right now. Ini nih, ini kemungkinan satu paket nih sama kerja. Kok jadi hilang? Sorry. I'm quite messy today with annotation, sorry. So, superb eye for style and visual compositions, usually that becomes the job required for copywriter, content writer. Although it's not written down on your contract, but most of English graduates, they are requested to design something along with the wording as well. Nah, karena yang ini nggak ada yang ngelingkarin, I'll be the one doing this. Okay? But absolutely, right, you have, if you ask me, I mean, if you say to me, saya nggak punya modalnya kok. Yang kalian punya itu adalah, that's one for sure. That's what you're doing right now. Of course, fluency in English, correct spelling and grammar and punctuation, that's not a question anymore. Now, what about superb eye visual compositions? You have this in desktop publishing. You should have this in desktop publishing because that's part of the learning objective. High attention to details, if you ask me, where do we get that? From actually the requirements from all of the subjects you have. Knowledge of grocery products, you should have this in entrepreneurship and also business project. Biarpun kalian anak sastra Inggris ya, but you've gone through business project and entrepreneurship. So you can try to point out the skills from that experience, from that subject. Comfortable working with word processing and spreadsheet programs. Ada yang bisa nyebutin mungkin di chat room? Mata kuliah apa yang mendukung ini? What kind of subjects that support this one? Writing, okay. So do you learn spreadsheet program as well in writing, in academic writing? I don't think so. Yeah, word processor, yes. Kalau Excel, ada pelajaran yang latih itu nggak Excel? Di desktop publishing diajarin nggak? Coba diinget-inget lagi ya. Biarpun kelihatannya simple, although it looks very simple, usually spreadsheet becomes the main demand for most of office working. Okay, photo editing. Some students mentioned that it's actually presented in desktop publishing too. So bottom line, if we try to conclude from all of the specifications here, they might not seem to be related with your degree as English graduates, but actually you learn and you study all of these things. They're all inserted in within your subjects. Therefore, if you want to create a CV or cover letter and you feel like I don't have the professional experience yet, you can just mention the subjects and then elaborate what kind of things you have learned from those subjects. Okay? Now, the most expected things adalah, of course, we love this one. Right? As an intern coordinator, I would like to say that basically there is no, if somebody asks you how much do we have to pay you, there is no statement from the university that you have to get certain amount of rewards. As long as you don't have to expense extra cost, then that's okay. You get what I mean? Jadi sebenarnya nih poin pertama nih nggak wajib untuk intern. Kalau ditanya kamu harus dikasih berapa, jawabannya adalah dari universitas tidak pernah ada ketentuan yang harus sekian. Selama kalian nggak tekor, ya that's fine because it's actually part of the curriculum and you learn a lot from the company. Okay? And what you have to look beyond the reward is basically this one. Yang nomor 2 ini lebih berharga. Because a lot of your seniors, they actually go back to the previous company where they spend their time for internship. Okay? Right. Now, let me share to you the result of your midterm test. Next meeting is going to be the SLC. Tapi mungkin saya bisa coba share asynchronously, entah itu lewat line atau lewat apa, atau lewat email mungkin, atau mungkin lewat forum. But for sure, I'll share the result sometimes next week. Now, it's already 2:30. Now, the next thing, I want you to prepare your LinkedIn. Sekarang saya minta kalian untuk prepare LinkedIn-nya individually. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, Miss.
Tolong dibuka LinkedIn-nya. Lalu tolong diakses, kindly access this learning LinkedIn. Okay, so why do I lead you to this page? Because the next topic is actually about LinkedIn. I know all of you have LinkedIn account already, but if you don't have LinkedIn account yet, try to create one because this is very beneficial. If you want to go through internship, you can apply a job from here. And just try to make sure just try to make sure that you also explore this one in learning, LinkedIn Learning. There are several courses like, for example, SEO for social media, and then Learning Excel 2019, simple things, but once you're done, you can just post it on your LinkedIn account. And what I drop, right? What I have dropped in the chat room, it's basically a very simple short course on how to rock your LinkedIn, how to improve your LinkedIn, on the other words. Okay, this is actually independent learning. You can go through the video yourself and then try to practice each of the tips and trick yourself, right? But it's not, I mean, the activity doesn't stop there. What I need from you later on is to let me know several things. Okay, let me try to type it in chat room. So the first thing, after you go through all of this short course on what to know, on how to rock your LinkedIn profile, after you go through all of the video and activities, I need you to answer and reflect and answer several questions. The first one, what kind of new things you learn from this short course? Okay. And then second, how can this short course help you to be more confident on your LinkedIn profile? Okay, and the next thing, there's something interesting about skills, endorsement, and recommendations, because there are a lot of questions on if I don't have enough skills and also, let's say, experiences, how is it possible to boost my LinkedIn profile so everybody can put their attention on my profile? That's why number 3, if you feel like you don't have sufficient skills, how can endorsement okay? Number 4, do you have volunteer experience? If you don't have it now, what will be your plan? Or last one, give the proof in Wakelet. Remember, I posted Wakelet for enrichment, especially for an internship. Give the proof in Wakelet that LinkedIn support you to find intern position. Ngomong-ngomong, di sini siapa yang bukan intern, siapa yang bukan track internship? Can you raise your virtual hands? Ada nggak yang bukan intern? Satu, okay, Brian noted. Siapa lagi? What is your track, Brian?
Community development, Miss.
Oh iya, oke. Sama sih, nanti Komdev juga harus mulai cari posisi juga kan, mesti kontak ke TFI kan.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, kalau sejauh ini cuman ada Brian, so far if there is only if Brian is the only one who belongs to community development or other track, then Brian, you can imagine yourself you're applying for a position in internship, right? Now give the proof in Wakelet that link can support you to find intern position. Sekarang yang punya link Wakelet-nya, can you please drop the link in the chat room? Can somebody help me to drop the Wakelet link?
Sorry, Miss. What is Wakelet?
Wakelet is just like Padlet. Yeah, Jeremy, you've gone through the internships, the enrichment through community development, but maybe you can just imagine yourself, you're part of the interns. Thank you, Dea. So last time, maybe to give you background for some of you who haven't followed the information. So last time, I dropped this Wakelet link to the 2021 interns, to the interns for this year's. I asked them to post 20 applications by 28th of April. But it seems like only several people posted. So this time, as part of Imagining Me task, and I'm going to use this as well as our next GSLC, I need you to follow this LinkedIn learning on Rock Your LinkedIn Profile. And then after following the short course, and then improving your own profile, please reflect on that experience and then answer these 5 questions. Only 5 questions. The first question is, what kind of new things you learned from this short course, from Rock Your LinkedIn Profile short course? And then how can this short course help you to be more confident on your LinkedIn profile? Okay, describe clearly, specifically, in details. And then the next one, if you feel like you don't have sufficient skills, please explain how can endorsement feature. So there is a feature in LinkedIn, and we call it as endorsement, support your profile. Endorsement here, it means you can invite your friends to click one of the skills that they think you have it. For example, Dea is my friend in LinkedIn, and then Dea posting teaching to my profile. That is endorsement that I have the ability of teaching. Okay. Number 4, my question to you, do you have volunteer experience? Okay. If you don't have it, now, what will be your plan to add more experiences in volunteering? Okay. Volunteer here, it means it can be something like you're helping an organization without any rewards, or you don't expect for certificates or even payment or even whatever kind of rewards. That can be considered as volunteer. And then number 5, give the proof in Wakelet. So the link is right here. It's posted by Dea. That LinkedIn support you to find intern positions. So what kind of proof do I expect here? It's the screenshot that you have applied several vacancies in LinkedIn. Okay, so that will be the expectation for number 5. If you ask me what kind of proof, It's basically a screenshot that you have applied several positions in LinkedIn. Okay? So far, do you have any question? Maybe the next question is, when do I have to do it? You can try to complete the task starting from now, right? Starting from this session until the next meeting, until the next face-to-face meeting. Sorry, until the next video conference. We're not going to have face-to-face meeting yet. So we have weeks, right? We have more than 2 weeks. That's more than enough, okay? And for number 4, especially for number 4, this is really important. Why do I put a lot of highlights on number 4? It's because of this information. Let me share it to you, okay? So the title of this video is Don't Underestimate Your Volunteering Experience.
You know that 40% of all hiring managers view volunteer experience as equivalent to formal work experience? If you think adding volunteer experience doesn't have an impact, think again. In fact, the LinkedIn data shows that members who've added volunteer experience receive up to 6 times more profile views than those without. Adding volunteer experience to your profile helps to round out your professional story and showcase what you're passionate about outside of work. Do you volunteer with the Boys and Girls Club? Add that. Or maybe you spend your free time chairing a nonprofit board that creates economic opportunity for homeless women. That can be added too. Or maybe you took some time off in between jobs and got involved with your local sustainability group by creating a business plan. Add this in. Remember, your volunteer experience doesn't have to be as robust as your work experience. Simply add the organization where you volunteer and create a 1 to 2 sentence description of how you contribute. Let's take a look at Sue's profile for some inspiration on how to add volunteer experience. Sue volunteers at the British Red Cross, where she helps communities recover from major disasters. So how would she add this to her LinkedIn profile? First, she'd click into Add Profile section. She'd find Background, and under there, Volunteer Experience, and click the plus. Next, she'd add her organization. She volunteers at the British Red Cross, so she'd simply put that there. Her role is a disaster recovery specialist, and that pops up so she can simply click it to add it in. Under Cause, she'll select Disaster and Humanitarian Relief. Now, Sue's currently volunteering in this role, so she can simply check the box. And then all she has to do is add in her start date, October, and her year, 2016. Finally, she adds a 1 to 2 sentence description of what she actually does in her volunteer role. So Sue could write something like this. I volunteer my time to support individuals, families, and communities through recovery after a major disaster. Through casework and recovery planning, I help communities get back on track together. She can go in and obviously spell correct some of her issues here, and then simply save it. Now, Sue's added her volunteer experience, and this section populates right underneath work experience, and you can see what she has here. See how you get a good idea of what Sue is passionate about outside of her job? You also see where she spends her time and her love of working with communities. It's possible you have gaps in your work experience. Maybe you stepped away to raise kids, you left to care for a loved one, or you just needed a plain break. Perhaps during that time off, you also did volunteer work. The volunteer experience section is a great place to explain those gaps in your work experience. So use volunteer experience to include any relevant volunteer work you did during your break from the workforce. Don't underestimate the value of adding your volunteer experience. In today's world, people want a holistic picture of who you are as a professional and a person. Not to mention, adding this section can generate up to 6 times more profile views for you. So get ready to add or update your volunteer experience now.
Okay, so let me stop there, and then I'll post this. I'll post the questions in our line chat group. Kita punya line group yang satu batch penuh nggak ya? 20-23 gitu. Saya lupa deh, kemarin tuh saya udah termasuk apa belum ya? Maybe somebody can remind me. Just a minute. Okay. So anyway, I'll try to post it later on Venus Maya and also in our line group. But our target to by doing this activity, so hopefully we can achieve this. It's going back to the learning objectives displayed on your midterm test. So express principal theories of communication in professional context through LinkedIn, producing digital portfolio, because in LinkedIn, you can also display the course, the short course, the ability that you have achieved, and then producing a commercial or academic digital content as a form of self-expressions. In terms of digital portfolio, okay, in terms of digital portfolio, be ready on our next video conference sessions. I'm going to teach you how to create a digital portfolio in a form of website. So if you have a website already, you can try to recall your username and password, right? And then if you don't have it yet, maybe you can start signing up for a web page, right? To a provider that can help you to create a website. Learning objective 3 is to produce academic digital content, which is related also to LinkedIn as a form of self-expressions. And if you want to read more, why do we have to, why LinkedIn, right? Why not other social media like, for example, Facebook or Twitter? Facebook is old fashioned, I know. Or even Instagram. You don't have to put a lot of words, but you can express yourself there. You can read this book, although I know you won't read it, or at least you can read the 4-point here. And bottom line, if you ask me, why is it LinkedIn? Because it's the place where international people go. And it's actually the place where international, if I can add more one more word, international professional people go to find their future staff, to find their future job, or even to find their future business partner. So LinkedIn basically was started from simply social media for professionals, that's it. But now it grows from learning, what they call it, from from learning platform, and then communications platform as well. And you can also find articles. So it's almost like news and updates for professionals. Extra, right? Extra benefits of joining LinkedIn. You can publish yourself as somebody who's looking for a job. So once you publish you're available for a job, your photograph will change into your photo, and then there's a slash of looking for a position, something like that. Then you can inform everybody, hey, right now I'm available for new opportunities or new challenge. And what I like from the job applications through LinkedIn is just clicking apply, then it's done. Now, the matter is only whether or not you improve your profile. So once you apply, your future company or your future boss can see the whole things about you and get enough information about you or not. And next thing, it's your agent, right? LinkedIn is basically your agent to help you to deliver the first impressions properly. If you create your own paper-based CV and cover letter, there are a lot of X factors, right? Banyak hal yang ya terserah kalian mau margin berapa, mau huruf segede apa. A lot of X factors that which are not formatted. But through LinkedIn, the font size, the format, it's already on template. And the good things about this is not paper-based. This is digital. But the minus point, okay, the minus point, although you erase something, whatever things that you posted digitally, it has digital traces. Jadi apapun yang kalian post secara digital itu kan punya digital print, punya digital trace. So you cannot lose it. It's impossible for you to lose it. Itu minus pointnya. Okay, it's your professional association as well. So you can find a friend with similar backgrounds. Kayak Facebook aja gitu, bisa dilihat common friends-nya siapa. Nah, kalau di LinkedIn bisa dilihat common professions atau common schools that you went to, common alumni, itu bisa dicek semuanya. Okay, it's your reference check. In case, right, in the future you want to apply for a position and you need a reference, artinya butuh orang yang bisa memberikan referensi, you can scroll down from your friends list in LinkedIn. It's your mentor as well. It helps you to point out your plus points. It's your recruiter, your salesperson, your contact manager, and it's your researcher. Okay. This is not an assignment, but maybe it can be part of your reflection. Jadi ini bukan tugas, nggak kayak yang tadi ya, pertanyaan yang tadi itu tugas beneran. Kalau ini, it's just for you to reflect. From LinkedIn, okay, we can see the meter, whether your profile is advanced or not. And whether your profile is advanced, then it means you have a lot of experience, and your experience is already great, right? So now the questions, reflecting from that meter and reflecting on the numbers of friends you have. Are you respected? Okay. Does your profile include external validations? Are you validated externally? Di LinkedIn ini benar-benar teruji ya, kalian punya banyak teman apa enggak, atau misalnya, ya oke lah, nggak apa-apa, nggak punya banyak connections. But from that point, it's not to put you down. Jadi kalau misalnya ternyata masih ada yang belum baik, itu bukan untuk menjatuhkan, but it's a starting point for you to improve on this area. Okay. Based on my experience, when I posted my LinkedIn for the first time, jarang banget ada yang point saya ke arah linguistik. So there are a few people pointing me or giving me reference as a linguist. While I'm doing all of my sweat and blood for that research, then because of that, I can reflect back, oh, mungkin bisa jadi sebenarnya bakatnya saya bukan di situ gitu, tapi di sisi teaching misalnya, which is okay for me. And that's time for me to shift my attention more to teaching. And then number 2, are you top 3 endorsement tied to the skills for which you want to be known? Nah, ini yang nomor 2 yang tadi saya ceritain. Number 3, does your profile include blog post, media, and other items that demonstrate your skills? Number 3, this is what we're going to learn on the next meeting, bikin digital portfolio. So you can, later on, you can just embed that digital portfolio within your LinkedIn. Last one is your profile expertly written, free of grammatical and spelling errors. Okay, feel free to read this, but the main assignment are those 5 questions yang nanti saya akan posting di forum ketika udah deket waktunya. Karena kalau saya posting sekarang, it will not be validated as the next meeting. So just as for you to remember, there are these questions for you to work on. Saya akan posting di grup angkatan aja ya. Nanti kalau ada teman-teman angkatan lain yang nanya, bilang aja ini akan jadi tugas selanjutnya. It's okay if they want to work on it in advance. So far, let me stop here. So far, do you have any questions? Jadi PowerPoint untuk kalian baca, and those questions to ponder on is just for you to reflect. But the main questions or the main assignments are those that I posted in the chat room. Okay? Now, if you understand everything, you can give me the virtual thumbs up. Masih ada kan jempolnya?
Ma'am, I want to ask.
Yes, please.
For the Wakelet, so it's like from the LinkedIn we like applying 20 different jobs like that, and we screenshot it.
Ya, ngomong-ngomong Jeremy, kamu udah final semester ya?
Belum sih, masih semester depan skripsi sih.
Okay. Anyway, for you, I guess we need to talk more about this assignment. Something fits your conditions, but I guess I can describe it to your line chat. Caranya gimana how to accomplish this assignment specifically for you, okay? Juga tadi yang ikut Komdev siapa? Brian ya? And also for Brian.
Miss, untuk saya gimana juga, Miss ya?
Ya, nanti Jeremy sama Brian, I'll give you personal chat to give you specific instruction what to do.
Saya bagus, Miss.
Oh, bagus.
Yeah.
You're done with your second enrichment already?
Yes, ma'am. Miss.
Yeah, okay, so it means 3 of you. Ada lagi nggak yang tracknya beda? Bagus, Jeremy, Brian. Okay, so for 3 of you, I'll give you specific instruction to accomplish this task. Kalau nggak ada lagi, yang lain mungkin ada yang punya pertanyaan. Do you have any questions? For others, do you have any questions?
I want to ask, I don't understand about the endorsement thing that in LinkedIn.
Belajar dari short course-nya dulu, saya.
Oh, okay.
That's why I give you the short course.
Okay. Thank you.
Just a clue. For endorsement, right? Dia manggilin siapa sih? Narikin siapa? Say hello to whoever next to you. Anyway, for LinkedIn, especially for endorsement, you need your friends for that. You have to you have to request to your friends, hey, can you endorse me for certain skills? If your friends endorse you for certain skills, then you will get the notifications and the message. Ada yang pernah ngalamin? Ada yang pernah nyobain? Anyone get the experience of endorsement? Nih ya, contoh satu nih. Ngomong-ngomong, LinkedIn sama Learning LinkedIn itu beda ya. So it belongs to different website. LinkedIn is linkedin.com. Learning LinkedIn, linkedin.com/learning. So it goes deeper. Endorsement, and this is profile. Okay. Profile, feature, dashboard, my item activity. Nah, ini dia. If you want to ask for endorsement, okay, you can ask for recommendations. Then, who do you want to ask? Are we friends, Syed?
Yes, yes.
Are we friends in LinkedIn?
No, belum. Not.
Siapa yang udah temenan? Hanif nih kayaknya. Udah langsung keluar. Tapi Hanif nggak di sini ya? Hanif, for example. And then you can select the relationship. Saya nggak akan klik ini dulu ya. Okay, choose, and then check the positions. Nanti kalau udah, tinggal next. Then later on, you will end up with a page consisting of several skills that you want your friends to endorse you. Nah, teman-teman yang lain rajin-rajin lihat message atau notifications. Okay, Dea udah friends. Tinggal lihat notifications. Yeah, I get my previous supervisor in the Philippines here. So we drop message quite often compared with Facebook. Kalau ada yang punya pembimbing akademik, mungkin bisa di-add di sini terus minta endorsement-nya. Gitu ya, Syed ya. Sebenarnya short course itu juga untuk instruction kalian belajar cara ngotak-atik, cara misalnya kadang-kadang kan ada alamat web yang kayak gini nih. Ini kan LinkedIn dan slash biasanya nama kita, bla 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 bla. Nah, itu bisa dipersingkat, and you will learn the tips and trick from that point, from that short course. Or how to manage the privacy and security, you can also learn it from there. Anything else? Okay, now let me check your attendance. Okay, we have 26 people with me and LSJ. And we're supposed to have 28 people. Now let me try to check. Jeremy, are you there? Yes, you are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bagus. Bagus.
Yes, Miss.
Ada. Vanadia? Nggak ada ya. Clara? Natania?
Yes, Miss.
Charlotte? Olivia? Ada. Charlotte Olivia? Sharon? Sharon?
Yes, Miss.
Kevin? Ada Kevin. Brian?
Yes, ada.
Desi? Desi, iya.
Yes,
Cukup. Dea?
Yes,
Ya, ada. Vanessa?
Yes, Miss.
Oke, Vera?
Yes, Miss.
Ayuza?
Yes, Miss.
Muhammad Nur Faizi?
Yes, Miss.
Gabriela Garneta? Putri Salsabila?
Yes, Miss.
Ellen Yolanda?
Yes, Miss.
Muhammad Yasir? Yasir nggak ada ya hari ini ya? Raymond?
Yes, Miss.
Miss, I'm here, Miss Kevin,
Iya,
Miss.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah,
No,
oh, yeah,
I'm
okay,
looking for Yasir. Kevin is noted. Thank you. Yasir? Nggak ada. Glorian Enrico?
Yes, Miss.
Inggit? Inggit, are you there? Inggit tadi kayaknya ada deh. Oh, ada. Inggit Andrianti? Masih nggak dijawab. Akbar? Sationo? Nadia?
Yes, Miss.
Zara? Ara?
Yes, Miss.
Aditya? Ada. Livia? Tadi kayaknya ada. Livia?
Iya, Miss.
Ada. Syed ada, Raditya ada ya. Oke. Nah, forum jangan lupa dibalas ya. Maksudnya jangan lupa di reply karena kemarin saya lihat ada beberapa yang absennya udah 2 dari 5. Itu karena lupa nggak reply forum. So on the next GSLC, please be careful because one forum it's for one attendance. If you don't reply to two meetings, I mean two meetings, then you will miss 2 attendance. That's, well, if there's no more questions, I think it's a wrap. I'll see you online, but through GSLC on the next meeting. Bye. Take care.
Bye, Miss.
Thank
you,
Kalau ada yang mau nanya intern, boleh. Kalau yang mau nanya internship, boleh.
Okay, Miss.
Okay. But if you want to leave, it's okay as well.